gaming journalism is pretty fucking awesome because, like, you have such a voice and such a power over how successful video games are that at conventions, no one is going to be the one to pretend they don't know who you are. So for like 1 or 3 days out of the year, Substance TV became like the number one like most popular gaming site if you talk to any like game designer, because people would fucking act like they knew who you were. So when we went to said party, which I'm not going to mention specifically because I don't know that we'll use this or not, but it was
the Kojima party.
Sure. I didn't want to start naming people out. So
fucking what's his name who does the video game awards sure likes to name
Keeley.
Right?
Oh yeah,
Jeff
he was
Keighley,
there,
yeah.
and Cliffy B, Cliff Blazinski, who was like, it was really interesting. But that's not the story I want to tell.
Yeah.
The story I want to tell is like, again, people will always act like they know you. So me and my cohort, the other Substance TV director of media, as we like to call ourselves, I just air quoted myself because we came up with a name that sounded really good. So we would introduce ourselves to somebody and then have them come with us to introduce us. Like we would introduce them and then pause and they would introduce us and it would give us like credibility. And then every once in a while, one of us was scheduled to come up and lean in and talk to the other person and then walk away. But we never had anything to say. So usually I'd just walk up and be like, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. And then walk away, right? And we worked our way up the pecking list until we got like 6 Bungie devs. And these dudes were like totally in on Substance TV. Read our stuff, love it. At the time, we weren't even doing written content. It was just fantastic. And we had these Bungie. They were in these like hockey jerseys or like soccer jerseys that say Bungie on them. So it was very clear who they were, even if you didn't know who the person was. And so here we are, this entourage with Bungie, and Bungie's introducing us to everybody. And then like I would like lean in and be like. I really love like my ham and cheese sandwiches melted or something stupid, and he'd be like, yeah, and then we would just like keep doing our fucking thing. It was so good, but he kept going. Like I had to bail because I got so shit faced, but he kept going, and he ended up on the after party on the rooftop with Platinum Games, and it was like Shinji Mikami and all these big guys who have done work with Platinum and it's like down to like 20 people, and there's the whole plan of just working your way up the pecking order was just worked flawlessly.
Stellar, man.
So
that was at PAX.
Yes, it was at PAX.
PAX Primes before it was PAX West.
Yeah, we did stuff like that all the time.
That's awesome, man. That was a good story. See, it worked out.
It's halfway decent.
It's all about pretending like you're someone important.
Well, and I left out a lot that I don't want. Like, God forbid, like it gets to a point where I'm like dropping people's names too much, and
yeah, you should tell that story about talking to Kojima. Hideo Kojima.
Shut up.
Does he speak English?
Not well.
Yeah, he's kind of like Nobuo.
He actually
you just pretend like
Cliff was the one. I hate to say, Cliff Blazinski. I don't know this guy.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do that.
He dropped the first name.
Cliff Blazinski was kind of acting as his like translator.
But he doesn't speak Japanese.
That's right. No, he doesn't. So that was pretty good.
That's awesome.
So not my favorite translator though. My favorite translator goes to Shinichi Watanabe, the guy who did Excel Saga and Tenchi Muyo.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And they got him at an Acon, and he dresses as Nabashin, who is like this Americanized character. He looks like Lupin the Third with a giant afro.
Right.
He's a great character, but he dresses as his own character, which is really kind of weird. And it was at Acon in Dallas like 11 years ago. And he had a collection. He had bought all this Texas memorabilia. So he had this giant belt buckle in the shape of Texas. And he's wearing these cowboy boots. And his translator is this like, she's also like his producer or like manager. And she's like really, really like the atypical like 20-something Asian little translator girl. Like super like polite and peppy and all that stuff. And he did signings, and he was really big with the crowd. But what was really creepy about this guy was every on Saturday night at every Acon they do like a hentai night, and it's like 4 straight hours of hentai.
Jesus Christ!
Which bear with me because it's actually super fun because it ends up being like Mystery Science Theater, and we kind of ruined it one time when we stumbled in drunk, and from that point on. They just tried to double down on finding the most absurd stuff. Like it became sort of a community, and it was the same people every year I knew because we all had like inside jokes we would shout out. Well, I shit you not, the year Shinichi was there, he showed up to the hentai night, stayed through the whole thing. Like and it starts at like midnight. So he went like 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. like rocking the hentai and was just in it. In his
so it's like they're just showing hentai in a theater.
Oh yeah.
Anyone trying to like whip their dong out and give it the old stroke?
Well, so there were people like when we would make fun of it, people would get upset.
Really?
Like because they're truly trying to
appreciate guys, I'm trying to watch the story.
Right? So we bailed on hentai night. We were like, maybe hentai night was too broad. So they built a subset of yaoi yuri night, and it really was just yaoi.
Yeah.
It was like 4 hours of yaoi. Like chicks with robotic laser penises, and like there was one about this guy who like fucks other guys with corn.
What the fuck?
And we were all about that, all about it. But then
this conversation devolved so fast.
Well, I feel like the story needed to keep going. Like every bit I ended on needed to follow through. But they shut down Yaoi Yuri Night because somebody was taking it too seriously.
The corn popped in his ass.
And they got really upset. They were like, this is terrible. They complained that there were people that were ruining like the ambiance of corn fucking. I wonder if Shinichi Watanabe made a complaint.
Oh, maybe that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because he was really into it, right?
Super into it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Super into it. So that's the story of when I went to Hideo Kojima's birthday party.
Welcome to this week's episode of Hypothetically Speaking. I am Tyler Malter. With me, as always,
Cornfucker
and
John Reed.
This week we are. You guys don't know. My co-hosts don't know. And the listeners don't know as well.
Yeah,
no one knows but me.
Uh-oh.
How much do you know?
All of it.
Oh.
This week we're talking about how would you, if you could, pick the end of the world? How would it happen?
Cornfucking.
And would you survive?
No.
Would you survive, or how would you survive?
Either or. Whatever, man. Loose interpretations. How the world would doesn't matter.
I got a pretty good one.
Okay.
I've been thinking about this for a while.
We should try to guess based on how quickly it ends, and do it from how quickly, like quick to slow.
Okay. Then let's do that.
I don't think anyone's gonna beat mine.
Okay. Then Sean wants to go first. John, are you?
No, mine's gonna take about 1,000 years.
Oh yeah, no, mine is
to play out entirely.
Nearly the opposite of that.
Okay.
So I'm talking about black holes traveling at the speed of light. Just a big fan of the idea of just we're here and then we're not. So they found that they theorize that there are black holes that are traveling through the universe at the speed of light, and they're just blinking entire solar systems out of existence. So
how do we know that the black of the universe isn't a black hole that we're drawn into?
That's the cool thing about black holes is we didn't even know they existed until we started looking at like X-ray images of space, and then we could see the warping of like you can't see light dissipate,
right?
Because the blackness of space, there's nothing behind it to illuminate. But they would see like X-rays, and they would see it just falling into a hole in space, and they didn't understand. That's how they found black holes. Yeah. So up until then, like black holes are 100% invisible because not even light can escape them, and light is everything that we see. We only see the reflection of light. Mm-hmm. So like you don't know if they're there. There could be a black hole behind the sun, and it's moving at the same speed as Mercury away from us, and we would never ever know it.
What wasn't it Interstellar where they explored the idea of someone going into a black hole?
Yeah,
like
What Matthew McConaughey does. Spoiler.
Yeah. He does?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, he becomes a black hole. Yeah, it's a Transformers movie.
Oh.
Yeah, it's directed by Michael Bay, and he transforms into a Camaro.
That's pretty good.
Black hole.
I all of this could be just as true as the actual story, because I don't know. I'm thinking of black holes though as like a big sucky death thing, and I just
they're space vacuums,
right? And I didn't really want to have like a moment where I have to overanalyze my mortality or like any of that. And I think that something that could take the whole world out to just really encompass how like fucked and fragile everything is. Mm-hmm. I just think it's best that something happens that's so massive and out of our control and makes us that much more insignificant. Just we're gone. That's it.
Yeah.
No more.
It's not bad.
So
It's not good, but it's not bad.
but just no more.
Black holes. See, and that's like
Speed of light, though. It's just got to be gone. Like
Yeah.
there are other people, like other entities watching us, and like then we're gone, and they're just like, oh, I wonder what they were like.
got real fucking dark.
Well, I mean, we're talking about Armageddon here.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go like well. Like we're not gonna die from like living.
I guess I had a different interpretation of my question.
Oh, did you? Well,
Yeah,
that's
I wanted it to be like fun at least.
oh.
If I'm going to like kill the entire planet, then at least make it enjoyable.
Well, I
as we're
thought about
going
that
out.
too, like a purge or something.
Oh,
But I was like, no, I'm really pretty much good with just then we're done. Oh well. So
okay. Well, super massive, fast black holes.
yeah,
Kills us
big,
all.
fast, sucky death circle.
Man, it's a great name. Neil deGrasse Tyson would be so proud right now.
You just made that name up.
No, I got it from a black hole. John, what's your thing?
Zombie apocalypse. Would I survive?
God damn it!
See episode
God
1.
damn it!
See episode 1.
That's the
just
second
kidding.
episode.
Start the episode
Was
right
it the
now.
second
Episode
episode?
2.
What's episode 1?
The other one.
Was it the if you could do your day over, or did we not even publish that one?
Yeah, I think that's the first
You
one.
can't tell our fans that we have hidden files that we haven't shared because then the conspiracy theories are just going to go rampant.
Steve,
Why haven't we
The
shared?
one that we didn't post is the Star Wars. If you could rewrite the prequels, so it was an hour and a half long, and everything else we've ever done is 20 minutes.
Oh Jesus!
I thought it was
That
where,
was mostly my fault,
I thought it was where we told listener Chris Johnson that he's a fuckwad.
dude.
Generic enough
Again?
name that I figured
Fucking again?
that Chris
God
Johnson
damn it!
is listening right now. He was like, huh? Now he knows.
So I
that new show.
interpreted it as human life. Like when you talk about the world would end. For me,
The world
I
as
took
we know it.
I took it as human life ending.
Okay.
And so I would imagine that our DNA would have an expiration date on it. And that there would be men who would be born who are sterile.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually the majority of men on Earth would be sterile and sperm banks would run out. So we wouldn't have any way to populate anymore. And you couldn't clone, men who were able to
Reproduce.
reproduce all the time because eventually the DNA would just run out, right? So you would get to a point where the population on Earth would just dwindle down to there would just be no one. Like there'd be no way.
Are you trying to make it to where like you become a sex concubine and you're the last man who can have children? And
No, I would be dead
'Cause that's how it sounds
I wouldn't
like.
survive. I would be
really
dead
malicious
because it would
laugh.
take like several generations, like at least 10 before it became a looming threat. And you're talking about 100 years per generation, so about 1,000 years before it was like, holy shit, the population on Earth went from 6.5 billion to like 1 billion. Like it was, 500 years ago or however long it was that our
I
population.
think we hit 1 billion in 1920.
Is
Yeah.
that true?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
the
it's
population of Earth has
1890.
skyrocketed like really fast.
Yeah,
in
I
just
wanna
like
say-
a generation or so.
That's what we got.
I want to say in the late 1800s we hit 1 billion, and then in the early 1900s, like 1920ish, we hit 2 billion, and then we hit 5 billion in 1990, and now we're at 7.5 billion
Wow.
in 2017.
That's why war is so great.
They actually,
Yeah,
It's
war.
orchestrated population control.
it's pretty good. I thought that we had that many people so they could sell more copies of Angry Birds, like more microtransactions.
Yeah, well, no, it's at this point they're now producing phones to do that.
Oh.
So they produce a phone and then they activate it and they sell a copy of Angry Birds.
to the phone.
Yeah, and then they delete the contents of the phone and then ship it out as like your brand new iPhone Plus or
Brilliant.
whatever it's called. Yeah, so that's how they're, because they ran out of people to buy Angry Birds, so now they're just selling it to phones themselves.
It's pretty good.
That's why phones cost so much.
Oh.
Like the new iPhone costs like $800 because it
Angry
had-
Birds is $700.
Yeah, they had to pay the $4 for Angry Birds.
They're getting the $20 gold pack in Clash of Clans and
Jesus.
then just immediately erasing it,
Exactly.
and you're paying for it
So
up front.
now the phone companies are the whales that games are chasing after.
Brilliant.
Okay, so you is it a sex apocalypse? I forgot.
Sex pot.
I got distracted. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you could still bang like a wild rabbit, but you're just not going to be making babies.
Hold up. Oh, bang. Oh, yeah, man, that was close. Because I thought you said you could just bang a wild rabbit.
No, bang like a wild rabbit.
Because I'm thinking, like, you're not making a baby with a wild rabbit anyway. Domesticated, I don't know. Like a long hair, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think there would be a way to preserve, like, the human species. You might have to, like, do some weird gene splicing and try to, like, mate with a monkey or something.
This is good. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and
you'd
then
have
restart
to
the whole process, and then, like, humans 10,000 years later are like, we came from apes. Who made us?
Yeah.
And Planet of the Apes becomes real.
Yeah.
Charlton Heston is the spokesperson against it.
Yeah.
He's just like, damn you all.
Why would we would still use his like 1980s movie?
Well, no,
Or
he's there
70s?
still. He's still there.
Okay, well, good for Charlton Heston.
Right?
Isn't he dead now?
No,
He's not dead?
probably not.
Well, we should get on that then. My topic, or my answer to the question, like I was saying earlier, I want something that's fun, something exciting, something that I can watch and like we can go out in a blaze of glory. So I had a couple ideas, as I always do. One of them, giant meteorite headed for Earth, Armageddon style.
Oh, can I be Buscemi?
Yeah, I'm Bruce Willis.
Oh, that's fine. I want to be
yeah.
Buscemi.
Yeah, so I'm Bruce Willis.
Well, fuck the rocket.
No, I'll be Ben Affleck, so that way I get.
You can't be.
Liv
You already
Tyler.
claimed Bruce Willis. I'm Ben
Fuck that
Affleck. You're dying on the moon.
Gotta fuck
That's
that
fine.
rocket.
And it's an asteroid, not the moon.
And I get your daughter, and we play with animal crackers.
Okay, you have fun with that.
It's great.
I'm gonna have an ugly daughter, so get wrecked.
I'll pass.
Yeah, fuck that rocket, Sean. So I was thinking that like giant ass asteroid, but it is the end of the world. There's not a way to save anyone, so they fail. And the asteroid just careens into the
So
planet.
we're on the asteroid coming in at Earth, like, yeehaw!
Yeah, right an asteroid
Boom.
to the ground. Yeah,
It's great.
If you
destroy the planet.
if you jump right when it hits, then you won't be affected.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
it's just like jumping off a building. So the I like the idea of someone trying, like they jump off a building without anything underneath them
Yep.
to jump off
And they
of.
try to
So
jump.
they try to do a jump anyway.
If you throw your cap right before you hit the ground,
and
you
you
don't
jump on
suffer
the
fall
cap.
damage
Yeah.
like
Jesus
Sunshine. Or Odyssey.
You don't suffer fall damage at all.
Well, I know, but then you get all when you hit the ground.
Anyway, so damn it.
I think we should all just get a small cold that infects our lungs.
Yeah, thanks. It's real funny.
It's good.
I'm dying over here.
Weaponized
That was sick.
pathogen.
So, yeah, I really like the idea of giant asteroid. We all know we're doomed. We send like this last hope into space. They fail. Asteroid kills us all.
But see, I
And
was,
then complete chaos for like 4 or 5 days. You do whatever the fuck you want. I
that's
think
terrible.
that's awesome.
That's just death and sex. You
Yeah,
guys both ended
yeah.
up in a sexual
Just
apocalypse.
carnage.
Well, I mean, we kick it off with a sexual...
So then I was thinking, okay, well, what would be the most what's the best way to save the most number of people?
Save them?
Yeah.
Because they're all dying.
Exactly.
Based on your question.
Why do we want to save them?
So, how do you save them? Create an afterlife.
Oh.
So, the rapture. Christianity is real. The rapture happens. Everyone gets saved by Jesus. World ends.
You should rock.
Satan comes up and everything. So, like, I'm not going to heaven. So, I just got, like, dual wielding shotguns, Doom style, fucking blowing off demons' heads. And then I was like, man, that's fucking cool. And I can save a majority of, or not a majority, but, the
Some.
percentage of Christians that would actually make it to heaven. So.
You should pick Jehovah's Witness because they have a predefined number.
See, and like, well, in my mind, Christianity, the Christian God is forgiving, and he'd totally forgive me for like fucking off and not believing in him. So I'd be fine.
You'd
I'd
have
probably
to do
go
like
to
some
heaven.
Constantine stuff, though, right? You'd have to like smoke a cigarette, cut yourself, and then
No, you can't kill yourself.
you
and
weigh
go to
like
heaven.
a ton.
According to someone I talked to, and I don't know who the fuck it was, and I don't know how reliable they are. According to somebody, you can't kill yourself and go to heaven.
That's the Catholic belief.
Now that I'm thinking about that,
It's a sin.
it wasn't somebody, it was a person.
I think
Or it was a movie.
there's a book that tells you can't kill yourself and go to heaven.
What would it be, though?
But
Don't know.
Constantine did it
So-
in like self-sacrifice.
Yeah,
Like
and
killed
like
himself.
that
Well,
was-
he cut himself to get the devil to appear to take his
Right,
soul, and
yeah.
then
He's a comic
made a
book
deal with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey,
the factual movie.
he's real to
Constantine.
me.
He's real to you.
So,
Real to me.
Wasn't he Keanu Reeves?
Yeah,
Yeah, friend of the show,
Keanu Reeves.
I'm pretty sure the deal was like you have to be able to ask for forgiveness. So if you killed yourself, you can't be forgiven because the last thing you did was a sin. And I think that was where the logic came from. I don't remember. Anyway, so the rapture would be dope, and then asteroid to Earth. And then I was like, fuck it. If I'm ending the world, I'm going to do it my way. Pacific Rim style.
God, we wanted a giant robot.
Build myself a giant robot, and I'm going to fight some fucking monsters. I'm going to go out literally swinging, killing giant kaiju.
If you don't like the way he described it this time, just pick any of the other giant robot descriptions and put it in there.
So that's that would be how I would end the world if I could. And I would try to survive the end of the world in my giant mech.
Sure.
But God forbid I die on the battlefield, making my family proud.
Well, if we're just going to go pants on head, then I'm going to say that it's an unbeatable American Ninja Warrior. And everyone just gets lined up. It's like they're going to get to the vertical wall, and there's going to be so, like, the friction is going to be so low from all of the blood and jibs. And I'm thinking, like, Quake explosion blood and jibs. Like, just, like, you don't make it, and then you look at the non-existent camera, and you're like, oh, boom, you're gone.
Explode, yeah.
Just body parts everywhere.
It's like a blender underneath it, just going constantly.
That's right. But yeah, I'm thinking Death American Ninja Warrior. I guess if we have to do it the way you'd like to and have fun, then...
Well, yeah, if I got to pick how the world ended, I would want it to be at least fun.
Right.
Like Alien Invasion Battle Los Angeles style, where the aliens are totally killable. It's not some giant, like, Independence Day garbage. It's actually, like, boot soldiers on the ground trying to fight humanity and take over the planet. And we just happen to lose the war. You know, I'm in.
Oh, got a new one. So there's a new health diet that comes out where people start eating their poop.
Oh, man. It kills everyone.
But everybody thinks that the reason why is because they ate just not enough poop.
That's good.
So there's like, by the end, because when people die, they tend to shit themselves. So by the end, you've got like corpse looters that are just digging their hands in.
I'd wrap a Snickers.
So,
and it's just a log of shit.
How would you like? I guess I don't see the logic in. Right now we're not dying. And we're not eating shit.
It's right.
And then they come out and they're like, "Hey everyone, eat shit, you'll lose a bunch of weight." And then a bunch of people eat shit and start dying. Wouldn't the rest of the population look at that and be like, "I never ate shit and I also never died. They did eat shit and they did die."
Well, think about
You are just now describing all the stupid fucking people who don't think you should vaccinate. We just described it. It was a complete analogy.
What a great
We've also
metaphor.
just described every stupid diet trend. I mean, think about people who made the big fuss about the paleo shit.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, I lost so much weight doing paleo. And then you have people out there killing wild boar and horses and eating them. They're like, well, I'm not losing any weight.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
and now I have a
they
blood
keep doing
virus.
it. And you're like, well,
I have blood parasites because I
Yeah.
hate wild animals. It's like leeches, but yeah, no, eat shit because you feel like your life, life expectancy's never been this high, so we should definitely try to go the other direction. And so we're going to eat shit until we die.
Believe me, there's
eat
enough
shit.
people who would buy into it that the population would just drop suddenly.
Already got it. I'm taking all my savings out, and I'm getting one tweet from the Kardashians that says, "Eating shit made me skinny," and then they're all dead.
See, but why not, like, why make him eat shit? Why not make him, like, arsenic works?
No, I really want it to be just
eat rat
horrible.
poison.
Like, I also can't imagine how horrible it would be to vomit consumed feces.
Oh yeah,
Like a belly full of it.
It goes in stiff, comes out like diarrhea.
Yeah.
It's always better. Like, all your food always tastes better going down than coming up.
I hope people are eating.
So imagine, like,
this.
exponentially.
That's right.
It'd be like the episode from South Park where they're shitting out of their mouths,
Yep.
but they're not eating out their ass.
They're not eating out their ass.
Then they put two and two together and start shoving turkeys up their ass.
Oh man, like a human turducken.
There you go.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, this might come out like a week before Thanksgiving.
Trying to be topical.
Wow, that's gonna be the first time for this podcast.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right. Do you have anything else that you guys want to say on the topic?
No, we're all fucked. Your guys' responses were death enough.
In
Mine
reality,
was
the
slow.
most real one is just nuclear holocaust, and it's impending.
It's the most real one. I'm thinking the shit eating.
Yeah.
I think the Earth is just going to shake and America's going to sink, and then coastal waters are going to rise everywhere else, and the world will just be like, whoops.
I read one of those stupid Facebook facts that apparently with large seismic earthquakes, that the day gets shorter. It affects the Earth's spin.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking almost a non-existent amount, but
is that a thing, or is that...
That's a Facebook thing. That's why I prefaced it as probably not being true, but at least being worth thinking about.
Yeah, but,
You can affect the Earth's rotation.
Well, yeah, no.
And the Earth's rotation affects the length of the day.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that at all. I'm is this the headline of a news article to a website that doesn't have any credentials? Or was it
Absolutely
a picture of a fact tweeted by Neil deGrasse Tyson?
That's right. My favorite one right now is the one from Miyamoto. Have you seen it? It's
No.
super fucking good. Well, tune in next week to find out what it is.
Oh my god, I have to wait a whole week?
Absolutely. Well, you don't. You're going to find out in a minute.
Oh my god, we're recording these back to back?
Just this time.
Oh wow.
Only to make the punchline good.
So, the last thing I want to say on the topic is the other option I thought about, but I didn't want to do it because you had picked black hole and instant death, but I'm going to do it anyway, is that the Earth just stops moving.
The day the Earth stood still.
Yeah, but not spinning, moving through space.
Oh, it's done. Like it's throwing a fit.
Yeah, like it just, like the brakes of the Earth kick on. Because the Earth is traveling at 67,000 miles an hour.
I can't believe you just pulled that off the top of your head and didn't read it off the laptop in front of you.
Absolutely. It's incredible what my brain can store. Anyway, so Earth is traveling through space 67,000 miles an hour. So if the Earth just stopped, even for a millisecond, it would liquefy every human on the planet.
Oh, that's
because they would just
great.
collide into the next thing, like the thing that's next to them in whatever direction we're traveling around.
Yeah.
So we would all immediately go into like walls at 67,000 miles an hour and
That's
just
awesome.
die.
That's like the ultimate episode of Will It Blend? On today's episode of Will It Blend, we have the entire Earth's population.
God damn it. I'm going to pass out from coughing.
How many people are going to get squished together?
Just human PB&Js.
So good!
All right. I think that's going to do it this week for us at Hypothetically Speaking. I am Tyler Malter. You can find me at TJMalt421. You can find John Reed
Hypothetically
at John
Speaking
Reed Art.
is a
You can find
table
Sean
night
Murphy
production.
at
Chuck Bond
Can't believe
Live.
those assholes paid me $5 just for
Chris
that.
Johnson.